to Trump seem to disagree with that.
No man, no woman, no matter what office they've held or wealth they've acquired, are worthy of blind faith or obedience. We need to renounce the conspiracy theorists and the truth deniers, the ones who know better and the ones who are just plain nuts.
I love when they say that, but they don't name who they're talking about, even though it's obvious to the rest of us. But Asma, I'm wondering, what do you think of that 63% number saying that Trump should still be the party's leader, given he is?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't really an alternative de facto leader of the Republican Party nationally at this point. And I think it jives with what the actions that we've seen from members of Congress who are Republican. There has not been support, say, widespread support within the Republican Party to really accurately look into what happened on January 6th. You do not see denunciations widespread within the Republican Party of any behavior or action that the former president takes. So I would say it's not really surprising. I think what is surprising as you look a little deeper into the numbers is it does seem like Republicans aren't really entirely sure they want him to be their nominee in 4 years.
And I think it also raises the question of, is there success for the Republican Party if he is still the party's leader? And another really interesting part of this new poll, Jeff, found that in March 2019, 78% of Republicans thought their chances were better with Trump. Now that number is 51%.
I think that is fascinating there and not a good trajectory. And what has happened during this period, former President Trump has been sticking his head up more. He's been talking more. He's been more active. So it's not like he's sitting on the sidelines. This isn't happening in a vacuum. So as I travel around the country and talk with Republicans and voters and just officials and other and rank and file folks, there is, even among Trump supporters, not a lot of unanimity about they want him to come back. Yes, his hardcore believers absolutely do. So what this shows me, I'm actually a little surprised. Shouldn't it be higher than 63%? Former president, said the election was questioned. So this makes the 2024 Republican primary fight absolutely fascinating, and it is not all that great of news, actually, for Donald Trump.
And you wonder if it only goes down further. What does it change going forward? Part of that, though, it said that 58% of the Republicans without a college degree thought their chances would be better with Trump. But when you ask college grads, it was only 34% thought that they would be better with Trump as the leader.
And that's not a huge surprise because that's reflective of his support from the very beginning. And if you really, you can translate that to GOP establishment in some respects and outsider non-establishment. So, look, I think it puts the challenge on, is there going to be someone like Chris Christie, perhaps Chris Christie himself, to come out and actually challenge Donald Trump face-to-face? So far, no one has been willing to do that. So we're seeing a delicate dance here. Everyone's sort of waiting for him to disappear. The former president says he keeps teasing he's going to have an announcement shortly. I don't think it's coming shortly at all. He's going to draw that out into next season, perhaps. But this is not necessarily great news for Donald Trump, especially that declining number. That's a fascinating number.
I know. It's really interesting. I like that you said next season.
Next season. Aren't we a season-based?
He loves a good tease. Melanie, we also have this ranking of Republican priorities that I thought was really insightful into what they think is most important. Most important, 86% was favoring a less powerful government. Holding conservative positions was 85%. Supporting Republicans in Congress is 81%. Opposing Democratic policies, 69%. Supporting Trump, 61%.
Yeah, supporting Trump is really interesting. And I mean, I think it's also very interesting that despite the polling that we have seen, Kevin McCarthy still continues to hug Trump very tightly. He keeps going down to Mar-a-Lago. Use him as fundraising gold mine. I mean, there's a reason why they are not crossing him or excommunicating him yet, because they do still view him as very valuable, especially for base turnout, and that he is continuing to play an effort into their efforts to win back the House majority. The other element to this is that a lot of Republicans are still scared to cross Trump because he still does have a bully pulpit. Even without his Twitter profile, he's out there making endorsements against some of these impeachment Republicans in the House and in the Senate. So there is still like this reluctance to go against him.
And when it comes to, go ahead.
That ties to a little bit of a surprising element here as well. You were mentioning Kevin McCarthy and how he has continued to be very outspoken in his support of the president and even have that support tailor his actions on the Hill. But also we're seeing other down the line potential big players in the Republican Party. Governor Greg Abbott, as an example, really tap into the Trump playbook, right? Going to the border, standing by the border wall, becoming really the prominent foe of the Biden administration, filing lawsuits against numerous immigration policies of the Biden administration, as well as getting into the abortion fight, as well as voting rights as well. And some of those actions trying to tap into the base that President Trump had. So seeing these numbers and seeing kind of the differing support, it does call to question in a way that strategy.
And I wonder how all of this with Governor Abbott and the new Texas abortion law, and these Republicans governors trying to make themselves in the mold of Donald Trump, how does that play into the midterms and whether or not it's going to increase excitement from certain blocks of voters? Because we know the poll also found those who are, quote, extremely enthusiastic about the midterm vote, GOP is 30%, Democrats 26%.
I think some of these laws, abortion in particular, can potentially rally and fire up liberals, but conservatives are always more animated by court decisions than liberals. We'll see if that changes at this point. But in Texas specifically, so many House races, as you know, Melanie, around Houston, around Dallas. In Texas, this will be a very key thing in Republican primaries. So it certainly gives Democratic members of Congress and candidates a talking point. But overall, we do have to take a bit of a pause here, I think. We just do not know what this necessarily means for the midterms. But if history may be our best guide, not great for Democrats.
Yeah, and of course, they have been kind of bracing for that, but we'll see if it actually plays out. Up next, a California Democratic Governor, Gavin Newsom, can he avoid a total recall on Tuesday?